Town of Orangetown Planning Board, announcement, April 10th, planning board meeting, please rise for pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. If anybody is here for Beth, Mar, Tom, church, fence, and gate plan, will not be heard today. Okay, first item on the agenda is SMK Erie West Subdivision, PB 24-23. Anybody here for that?
That's Jay Greenwell, and I told him didn't think there was a need for him to appear.
Okay, just go through the comments. Okay, project review has no additional comments. I have a letter from Jay Greenwell to Cheryl dated April 10th, pertaining to 7-lot subdivision. I have a letter from the town of
That's
Orangetown.
dated February 29, 2024.
Excuse me?
February 29, 2024.
Thank you very much.
No
Okay,
problem.
I'm sorry, thank you very much. Okay, I have a letter from the town of Orangetown. I put a little amendment on it because I just want a paper trail. This is from the town of Orangetown Office of Recreation and Parks dated June 2nd, 2021. The letter reads, in review of PB 21-34, the town of Orangetown Parks and Recreation Department recommends. Okay, at that point, I added in to say, which refers to PB 24-23, which is the current application, just so that there's a chain going from one to the other.
Yes, that's fine.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, so this letter was submitted way back then, but we couldn't find record of it being read in,
Yeah.
so we wanted to make sure it was in the record.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
that's fine.
again, it refers to only 21-34, not to the current
24,
application
23.
number. So I wanted to include that,
Okay.
okay? And that was dated June 2nd, 2021. Huh? Okay, I'll read the whole thing. Okay, in review of PB 21-34, the town of Orangetown Parks and Recreation Department recommends, pursuant to Orangetown Code, zoning code section 21-20.e, that the planning board, waiver the requirements of reserving of parklands and conditional approval of payment of $54,000 in lieu of parkland. And again, that refers to the current PB 24-23.
And the applicant has been advised.
Okay. I have a letter from the Office of Building, Zoning and Planning, James Slavin, April 5th. There's one comment. I have a letter from the Department of Environmental Management and Engineering, Bruce Peters, dated February 27, 2024, which breaks down the performance bond release. Okay? Okay, any questions, comments from the board? Andy?
No.
Thank you. Lisa? Mike?
No.
No.
Hey, Phil, you can't vote. I would open to the public. Does the public have any questions, comments?
Second.
Yeah,
Motion to open.
Motion to open to the public.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody from the public have any questions, comments? Hearing none, I'll make a motion to close.
Motion to close public portion.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Close. Okay. Next, what we have on it?
Motion.
Okay, motion for,
Motion for approval of,
to release the performance bond.
on and approve the payment of $54,000 in lieu of parkland.
Okay, got a second?
Second.
Andy, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Okay, good. Okay, next is 59 Tree Boulevard, Phase 3, site plan, PB 24-17.
Or should I stand here?
Wherever you are.
Could you sign in and tell us your name?
No, we'll just follow this one called refusal, and we're gonna write their names right
What's your name, sir?
Oh, sorry, Christopher Olson.
OLSTEIN. What's your name, sir?
German, G-R-M-A-N-F-E-L-D-M-A-N. M-A-N.
M-A-N.
F-E-L-D-M-A-N.
Great, thank you.
Windsor Lane is gonna be
No,
deep,
the way
that's
this
what
is
I'm-
the original.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You've got all these drawings, of course, but that'd be easy to point to them here.
Yes, sir. You want to explain your project for us?
Yes, thanks. Good evening, everybody. My name is Christopher Olstein. I'm an associate and architect at Clearman Architecture and Design. This is Garrett Feldman from DR Pillow. And we're going to present our application for the third phase of proposed work at 59 Tweed Boulevard. So I think you all have seen these drawings. You have a copy, I believe. But I'll run through them real quick, just to point out scope of work. These drawings include the existing house and previously approved portions of work, but I'll just highlight the portions that are in this third application. So basically, the scope of work you can see here and here highlighted in these sort of red squares. These are the two additions that are being proposed in this application. The one on the northwest sort of inside corner here of the existing house is basically a mudroom addition with also a pantry that links from the driveway into the existing house. Come in at one level that is flush with the lower level of this existing hall, and there's a couple of steps up, and the pantry is flush with the main floor here. This bunk room here is a small addition that is about 119 square feet. And essentially what we're doing is we're enclosing an existing, it's like an air conditioning paddock that has impervious floor. So it's new square footage for FAR, but it's not new in terms of, as far as it relates to impervious coverage. And essentially it's sort of like an extension of this existing space here. Both of these are single-story additions. They do have crawl spaces proposed below each one of them. This addition over here is 321 new square feet, or proposed square feet. And you can see between this addition and the driveway, there is there are stone pavers that account for about 40 square feet of new, which would be new impervious. So all in all, there's 440 new FAR square feet, but we are only at 361 impervious square feet. Moving forward here, you can see the scope of some demolition at the existing walls, where we're going to be cutting through the existing envelope to get to the existing house. I guess additional scope of work to this project includes some more, I guess you'd call it cosmetic changes. So if you look at the elevations, you can kind of see that we are in all of these areas that are sort of hatched with little X's here. Basically, we're proposing to strip the house of all of its existing materials. Siding, wood siding, there's some stone veneer, asphalt shingles. We're proposing to basically strip all of that cladding material off and replace it with new and different materials. The new materials will be a different type of stone cladding, basically from the ground to the eave line, and then from everything above there will be a slate shingle roof and a slate shingle siding. We're also proposing, you can see sort of at the ends here, we're proposing cutting back. Can you see these actually?
I can.
Sorry, okay. Proposing cutting back some of these like deeper overhangs. So none of these will impact drainage or any sort of civil engineering, but they will have structural implications. And there are some structural drawings included in the set as well. We are also proposing to essentially sort of cut down the roof of all of these dormers here. Not change the walls, we're not increasing sort of footprint of the dormer, but we're going to come back in and sort of reframe them as shed dormers as opposed to these hipped, and I guess you call it a Dutch gable there. So sort of some cosmetic work being done to the existing dormers. And then proposing removing the existing second floor balconies and infilling those areas with additional roof line. Essentially carrying that roof line across. Here are the proposed elevations. Here you can see the shed dormers where there used to be the hip dormers. We're also proposing taking out all of the windows, with the exception of any of the windows that were placed in the earlier phases of previously approved work, taking all of those out and replacing those with new steel windows. And I think that is it. There are some minor alterations to the existing interior floor plan. There's some demolition happening where there's an existing pantry here, but we're expanding that kitchen and moving the pantry out into the new addition. I think that's
Yeah, so the planning board is more concerned, typically, unlike some planning boards that are concerned about the whole envelope of the structure.
Yeah.
They're concerned about land disturbance, so.
sure. Yeah, I just wanted to give you the full.
Yeah, so you can speak
Yeah, I was
to,
just gonna get that from
yeah,
landscape.
land disturbance, and, can you just talk about the HVAC equipment? I know that was something.
Yeah, so in the previously approved scheme, there were 4 air conditioning units that were basically located at this corner of the existing house. And those, the coverage for that was included in all the calculations in that previous permit. But we're just proposing to now shift them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 air conditioning units being shifted to this side of the house within the setback line, since we're adding that addition there. So.
Okay, the landscape gonna change by much?
No, I mean there is this driveway here and all of this curbing and all of this hardscape here and really all of this landscape and site work is already approved and is part of the previous
Yeah, I don't
application.
know if we're gonna change any of it or not. Okay, when you go through the consultant reports. Project review has no additional comments. Office of Building Zoning Planner J. Slavin, April 5th. She has 3 comments. Department of Environmental Management and Engineering Group 2 years dated April 10th. Yeah.
Yes.
He has 5 comments. I have a letter from the Bureau of Fire Prevention dated February 21st. They had 1 comment. I have a letter from Hooker Engineering dated March 29th, 2024. The applicant has provided significant information to demonstrate that the project will provide mitigation for potential significant adverse impact with respect to drainage. We therefore recommend that 59 Tweed Boulevard site plan be approved for drainage subject to the above project comments, of which there are 9. I have a letter from Rockland County Health Department dated March 11th. We just had one letter. Rockland County Highway Department dated January 29th, 2 comments. I have a letter from Orangetown Zoning Board dated February 2nd, it looks like. Central Town and Orangetown Planning Board Service Lead Agent. I have a letter from Rockland County Department of Health dated March 11th, Central Town, Orangetown Planning Board Service Lead Agent. I have a letter from Rockland County Zoning Board February 2nd, no comments at this time. Okay, anything else?
That's it.
Thank you very much. Andy, anything? Please, anything? Mike?
Okay, regarding the moving of the 4 air conditioning units, are they being placed on a current solid piece, or are you adding there?
No, they'd be on a pad.
Is that pad new?
It'll be a new pad when they get moved, but the pad was included in the calculations for the previous approval. So there was a pad where they were going before. We're just relocating where they are with the pad and the unit.
So the impervious calculations previously included
and those locations. Now we're just shifting where they were.
So you'll have to provide clarification of that to the town engineer to make sure you're underneath the 400 square foot
That threshold.
threshold and that everything works, because it's very confusing between the architectural drawings and the site drawings. They actually don't match.
In terms of the location,
The location and the site drawings show almost everything being new, so that's one of my notations,
yeah,
is that
saw it in the
when this application came in, it should have came in only showing
Right.
what was new for this application.
Right.
So that's the question, to make sure that any additional impervious coverage works with the previous drainage calculations.
Okay, yeah, so, I'll just point it out here, but yeah, existing mechanical equipment approved under separate application, and then it shows that it is shifting here. But we can update those notes accordingly.
And I think that, Mike, I think that's one of Bruce's comments as well.
Yes, it is. It says, in DEM number 3, because you only have 39 square feet left that you can play with. After that, you have to change your drainage.
Right.
So that was, there's gotta be, somebody wants submitted on that.
Well, they'll have to go back and forth with Bruce to make
Right.
sure that they comply.
Because if he says it wasn't on the prior plan, you have to have new drainage. So it's up to him. If it wasn't on there, it wasn't included in the calculations.
No, it was approved, you know, I wanna add something, in addition to that, we already checked that even additional 400 square feet is still okay with existing drainage. It's oversized, so it works.
If it's over 400 feet, no, it doesn't work.
Say again?
If it's over 400 square feet of new impervious area, it doesn't work. You gotta do additional stuff.
No, we already included in,
Well, when you came in originally, you said to separate into two areas, two sections. This was supposed to be separate and distinct from the prior approval. They said, take everything from there and put it into the new one. So now we're saying, well, no, the pads were approved on the prior one. It should have not been on the prior plans, it should have been on these plans, showing the square footage here.
well, it does show, as I'm saying.
No, it doesn't show it on these plans.
It's not clear. The plans contradict each other, and the site, the engineering drawings indicate everything as a new scope. So it's very confusing when you look at the engineering plans. Whereas the engineering plans as submitted should have everything else as existing, and only this scope, phase 3, should have been indicated as new. So you'll have to demonstrate to the town engineer that whatever you presented as drainage calculations prior still work.
Right.
Okay? And the drawings will have to be revised to only show this scope of work for this phase in order to be stamped and signed off on and moved over to the building inspector.
On the civil sheets.
Well, on both.
On both,
You
but
guys
they're-
have to coordinate them.
Right, but I guess what I'm asking is, you're noticing a discrepancy on the civil sheets in terms of the language, but not on the architectural sheets?
Yeah, they don't match.
Okay, yeah.
That's one of my comments.
Yeah.
So that's on you guys to make sure they match. Nothing will be stamped and it will not be moved forward until the drawings are coordinated. You've demonstrated to the town engineer that you satisfy the drainage requirements with the drainage installations that have already happened. If there's an increase, as Mr. Mandela said, then you might have to provide additional mitigation.
Okay.
Okay?
All right?
Yeah, no, I understand. My understanding is that those pads are accounted for, we're just moving them, so we'll make that clear.
No,
We'll
listen,
demonstrate that in the drawing.
Are you ripping out the old pads, or are they staying there?
No, that was a proposed location for them anyway. We were going to relocate exactly where those were, and we were adding a few, and that was all.
Where the air conditioning units are now,
Where the air conditioning units are now, are in
come
here.
over there.
Yes. In the previous application, they were being moved here, and their footprints were accounted for. Now, we haven't added any, we're just moving them now here,
Okay,
because
you're
now we're
moving
adding
them from where? Where's the spot you're moving from?
from here
Yeah,
to these three here. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Four,
sorry, 4
right.
there, yeah.
okay, now, where you're moving them from, was that, there was a pad there, correct?
This area here,
No, where were the original ones?
Right.
okay, originally here, first application here,
So they were never physically there?
No.
Okay, it was only on paper then?
No, they haven't been, that work has not been done, the work is still, that permit is still being constructed right now.
The question is this, okay,
But it's previously approved to be here.
Nothing, there was no air conditioning units there.
did you put a pad there?
No.
So is never a pad there? Is this impervious area or it's not impervious area?
No, there's no pad there physically now, is what I'm
Is
saying,
it gonna be
but
one
it was
built?
accounted for, in theory, if we weren't to do phase three, in theory, there would be one built, and it is accounted for in the previous application.
Now, the old air conditioners, where they are
Here,
currently,
yes,
are they on a pad?
no, they're on gravel.
They're on gravel.
Yeah.
Is that gravel gonna be changed, dug up and converted?
So as part of, this phase, you mean?
Which phase are we talking about?
I'm just asking
We're
which one
talking
you're
about
asking.
phase
Yes,
three,
in phase three.
Because it seems to me that.
I'm
we
sorry, I'm
put
not trying to be obtuse, I just
No,
want to
no.
make sure.
It seems that we're putting stuff in phase two that should have been in phase three, in order to stay below 400 square feet. That's just my opinion.
Not trying to
Can
say
you just
below.
give a brief description of phase two, and then let us,
Well, phase two was nothing, they weren't talking about moving the air conditioners in phase two.
okay.
So they're moving them in phase three. They're moving them from an area where there was gravel. Are you taking that gravel up and putting pavers there?
No,
Or-
no, we're in phase three, that gravel, which is impervious area, is being infilled with this addition. So it's still, it will remain impervious.
Okay, that's the question.
Right.
Okay, not being done, all right,
I,
all right.
I just want to kind of to clarify, we already even added the 400 square feet into the existing drainage and it still works. We checked it already.
You have to talk to Mr. Peters,
We know that.
and it's up to him if he accepts it or not accepts
I
that.
understand, it's already shows in the calcs and everything, so I just want to clarify so we don't have issues.
Yeah, well, I was at the meeting, and I don't remember us talking about new pads and everything else for air conditioning.
Well, the new pads are, well, they're all the time, they're just moving from point A to point B, doesn't really matter where they are.
What were those pads for? Part of phase two?
It doesn't really matter until.
Oh, it does matter.
No, to me, it doesn't really
Sure,
matter.
it matters, most definitively it matters. They were poured in phase two. It's still new construction. It's still new impervious area. That is the point. Okay? I don't want to push it out any further.
Yeah.
That's my comment on it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Anything else, Mike?
No, that's all I had on that.
Thank you very much.
All right, so, D, just quick, D, I'm not gonna make this too complicated, it says there's 361 square feet new, and even when you were presenting it, I got kind of confused. How much new square footage are you adding?
Are you talking about for, in terms of FAR, or in terms of
No.
impervious coverage?
Impervious.
Impervious, 361, so there's 321 represented by this, sort of this addition here, and then there's 40 additional with the stone pavers that connected to the driveway. So 40 and 321, that's the 361.
Okay, and
And
then,
then this is being added, it's new square footage to the house, but it's not new impervious.
because gravel is considered impervious. Okay, that's all.
Thank you. Kevin?
No questions.
Open up to, motion to open up to the public.
Motion open up to public.
Do I have a second? All in favor? Aye. Anybody from the public wish to speak on this? Motion to close the public.
Motion to close
No,
public
or-
portion.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any additional comments or questions from the board? No? So actually, we can go preliminary, no problem. Motion preliminary with conditions?
Motion for,
Well, the only thing is waiting on the.
We can handle the issues administratively, if the board wants to consider final.
okay, did they have to go to Act 4 still, or they've done Act 4?
You don't have to do that.
Okay, all right. We'll change
Single
it.
family house,
Okay,
they're here because it's critical environmental area. So that's why the drainage is so critical, but they gotta get past Bruce.
good, we gotta get that in.
They got past.
We gotta get that in as a condition though.
Okay, but you have to understand, Booker and Bruce are two different things. So,
He always does that.
Yeah.
until Bruce gives his okay, the project can't move forward.
You see that, Bruce?
But it can be handled administratively.
This kind of almost, I mean, is you
Yes, because they've already had, the other phase is already under construction, so really, really, the only question here
Is
is
the square footage.
the actual ultimate drainage calculations. They have to work through, and they have to revise the plans so that this phase represents only what's being done during this phase.
So as long as he gets through Bruce says okay, then we don't, all right? So, are they the final with conditions?
Yes.
Do I have a motion for final with conditions?
Motion for final with conditions.
Okay, and conditions are Office of Building, Zoning, and Planning, Jane Sullivan, April 5th. She has 3 comments. Department of Environmental Management and Engineering, Bruce Peters, April 10th. There's 5 comments. Bureau of Fire Prevention, February 21st, 1 comment. Booker Engineering, March 29th. They have 9 comments. Rockland County Health, March 11th, 1 comment. Rockland County Highway Department, January 29th, 2 comments. And also that the
And in revised plans
revised plan to,
showing the work done on phase 2. Is it phase 2 or 3? Phase 3,
Yeah, this is phase 3.
okay? All work being done on phase 3. And the clarification has to be made with the, Mr. Peters from the Department of Environmental Management and Engineering as to the impervious area, which would be the base for the new, for the air conditioners, okay? So whether the square footage is going to, if he finds that the square footage should be in this plan, not the other one, it goes over 400 feet, then we need a revised, drainage plan possibly.
Which, again, can be done administratively, as long as Bruce is comfortable with the numbers.
Okay, so we add that in, what do we have as
Yeah.
far as,
You don't have to add it in, because it won't happen.
Okay.
He will not sign off on the plan
All right.
until his,
but
as
we're making
approved.
that as, we're just mentioning that as a condition, with the new revised plans have to show exactly what is being done this time around. We're talking about the exterior impervious areas.
just where you know what we're looking for, what he's looking for, you know, we'll select.
Yeah.
Okay.
Need a second?
Okay, do I have a second?
And a second.
Mr. Mandel, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None abstained. Yes, sir, you got your final.
Yeah, do secret,
Excuse me?
do secret first.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Motion to-
lead agent,
Both will be agents, second.
all in favor? Aye. Motion for that deck,
Motion for neg deck.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion for lead agent with conditions, which we did. Good luck, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Okay, next application is East Coast BLR Site Plan, even 24-24.
What? It's fine. I'm expecting to get but it's not- oh, what is that?
This is gonna go past midnight,
No, no,
Here, what plan?
you're good here by yourself.
Piermont meeting on Monday, one past midnight. Three applications.
And then can I have that?
Oh, I was told.
Bart Brody for the applicant.
Yes, sir. Explain your project.
Yes, this, just to refresh the board's memory, we've been here several times, and hopefully this is final. The project consists of the property at 11 Kings Highway, which is a commercial building, currently being occupied by Pico Electric. Our plan is to put an addition to the south side of the building, approximately 21,000 square feet. Since the beginning of the process, we've been to the planning board several times, and we have gone to zoning board, obtained all necessary variances, and we've been to the architecture review board and got the architecture review board approval. In the last submittal, I have a several page narrative discussing all the changes that were made and almost 100% compliance with the letters from the building department, the engineer consulting, the town engineer, and the fire inspector.
Almost 100%?
Almost 100%. I thought it was 100%, but then I got comments today.
Oh, okay. Let me go through the project. The consultant report. Project review has no additional comments. Office of Building, Zoning, and Planning, Jane Slater, April 5th. She has one comment. Department of Environmental Management and Engineering, Town of Orangetown, April 10th. Bruce Peters has 18 comments. I have a letter from the Bureau of Fire Prevention, Town of Orangetown, March 26th. They have a total of 5 comments.
So if I can ask you, you're okay with moving the hydrant?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Four.
no problem.
Yeah, so the one is site plan related, the other 4 comments are, building and fire code compliance related.
Okay. I have a letter from Booker Engineering, April 9th. The applicant has demonstrated, excuse me, that potential significant impacts with respect to drainage can be mitigated. We therefore recommend that the East Coast BLR 1993 LLC site plan be approved for drainage subject to the above project comments, of which there are 12. I have a letter from Rockland County Department of Planning, April 8th. They have 19.1 comments. I have a letter from Rockland County Health, April 8th. They have 1 comment. Let me see. Hold on just a second. This. Okay, I have a letter from Rockland County Planning. Did I? Okay, yeah, that's right, yep.
Department of Health.
Yeah, I got one more to do, okay. I had extra papers, I just want to go through it.
Rockland County Department of Health,
I think I did that.
yeah. Or,
Just a sign.
yeah, it's just a sign, 4824, lead agency.
Yeah, they just have 1 comment, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I have a letter from Rockland County Department of Health, March 8th, comments attached. I have a letter from Rockland County Planning Department, March 15th, comments attached, and that's it. Haley, anything else?
That's it.
Thank you very much. Mr. Andrews?
Just looking at the landscape plan that you have, sections here, planting area 3, 2, 1. Can you point them out on the plan where those areas are?
It's PL, it's the abbreviation's PL, planting area. So planting area 3 is right there.
Oh, that's,
And we did a blow up in each area, what it looks like.
Some more questions?
some of these areas are pretty close, actually, right up against the, up by the building. I'm afraid that some of the trees, you have arborvitae's going in, AGs, that get pretty large. I'm afraid that they're gonna be too close to the building.
Now, the globe arborvitae, you can keep it at about 3 feet, as long as you trim it once a year, you can keep it at 3 feet as a wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's gonna have to be trimmed.
These have to be trimmed every year, so when they grow, they look terrible if you don't trim. This needs a yearly, and the owner's aware of that, he likes that, he likes landscaping. So when we took these out, I told him, he's gonna have to do pruning every year, because they grow out of whack and it looks terrible.
Yeah. That's my concern.
hydrants, fire departments do not like the hydrants very close to the building, because if the building's on fire at that location, it can't get to the hydrant, so they like it to be,
You need to be a certain distance away
Distance from
from
the
an
building.
active fire.
yeah, so we moved it across, and Dave was fine with that.
You were in the southeast corner though, right? The building height is more than 32.8.
From the original application, yes.
Okay, and the notation on SP, let me see, it's gonna be great, sir. On SP1, let's stay inside, you say you have, it's a 30-foot wide right of way between Providence Savings and Loan and Publishers
Yes,
District Corporation.
yeah.
Okay, dated 1976. That's the property that you go over.
Well, it's, so in talking with the lawyers, that is the right-of-way agreement made, and we found the right-of-way agreement. We're still not sure who owns that property, because they think it's owned by all three properties, that
Okay.
it's owned by Dodge, it's owned by the bank, and it's owned by us, but we did find a right-of-way agreement.
Okay, all right, so the right of way is,
Yeah.
okay, it's acceptable. It's acceptable right on that, okay. And when are you gonna do the perk tests?
I'm gonna schedule them, if we do get final, I'm gonna schedule them with Bruce, he has to be there, we'll schedule them in the next 2 weeks.
Should have done that before, yeah, but,
Well, he requires that, so.
oh, I know, but it should have been done before,
Okay.
here, saying that in the future. No other questions?
Thank you, sir.
Even honestly, like with the weather, it's probably okay to hold off for a few weeks.
Mhm. Yeah, it's everything saturated.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna start running like crazy, but it's,
Yeah.
good thinking.
No
Yep.
questions?
Make a motion open to the public,
Motion to open public.
Joe second, all in favor, aye. Any opposed, none?
It's
Motion
got,
carries.
Geico guy, he's got his hand up. Gecko.
Sit down. Motion to close the public. Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor, second, all in favor, aye. Any opposed, none? Motion for final conditions.
Okay, we gotta
Reaffirm secret.
have lead agency to on it, or?
You don't have to do the agency, but reaffirm secret.
Okay. Motion reaffirm secret.
Motion to reaffirm secret.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed, none? Okay. Motion for final with conditions of which there are.
Motion to file with conditions.
Okay, Office of Building Zoning, Jane Slavin, April 5th, one comment. Department of Environmental Management and Engineering, Town of Orangetown, April 10th, Bruce Peters has 18. The Bureau of Fire Prevention, March 26th, has a total of 5. Leave all 5 in there, they can have fun with it. Okay, Booker Engineering, April 9th, they have 12 comments. Rockland County Department of Planning, April 8th, it was 19.1,
We looked at them all?
yeah.
Yeah, at the last meeting, we got some overrides, so we don't need to do it again, we got a couple of overrides on it, so we're okay with the rest of them.
Rockland County Health, April 8th, one comment, and that's it. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None. Good luck,
Thank you
sir.
very much.
Another good job, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay,
Minutes.
motion to approve minutes from the March 27th, 2024 meeting with amendments. In the 24-19, whatever it is, UBO Fine Arts. Global, right. Thank you, Global. Number 3 is going to say, the site plan shall be revised to include 4 bollards by the generator and road bank, a pre-containment for underbelly tank and generator, and the generator shall be tested only the days of Monday through Friday, and only from 9 AM to 5 PM. In addition, a plastic screening shall be placed around the air handlers for sound, and generators and air handlers shall be raised 8 inches from the bottom. In the,
So you know what you have to do?
okay, And in the case of Shady Side Site Plan 24-20, of March 27, 24, page 27, item number 9 will read, the railroad tie wall and any segmented wall over 4 feet in height shall be certified, signed, and sealed by a professional engineer and submitted to the town of Orangetown Planning Board office. Need a motion?
Yeah, I can't do it because I wasn't here.
Motion.
Wait, you seconded?
Sure.
All in favor?
Who made the motion?
Mr. Mayor,
Okay.
The motion will be adjourned?
Motion for adjournment, I'll second this. I'll second.
All in favor, aye.
aye.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Get a time.